Saturday, Bournemouth travel to Wolves in a match that has got the new and the old. The old being Gary O'Neill, our previous gaffer, the manager that saved us from the drop in the 22-23 season, against the new Andoni Iraola, our current head coach, and someone that Bill Foley wants to take us to Europe. But can we? After Arsenal, yeah. After Villa, yeah, why not? After Manchester City, definitely. But then you've got Leicester, Brentford and Brighton. Does that show that maybe we're not ready? Were we stupid to think we were? And what do we need to do to achieve what we want to this season? And as for Wolves, is Gary O'Neill the man to save them? A 4-1 win at Fulham suggests maybe he is. Welcome to the big back of the net match preview. My name's Sam Davis.
My name's Tom Jordan.
It is going to be a big game this weekend. Bragging rights for both sets of fans, I'm sure. The chants are ready from both sets of supporters, but they were certainly ready from Bournemouth fans the last time we went to Molineux. Tom, it was a good day.
Oh,
come on.
Thank God for that.
Would you fucking believe it?
I mean, he's going to the screen. You don't see this often. He's going to the screen. Gary O'Neill will not be happy if this goes against Wolves.
He really won't. That was a midweek match, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's right. And I remember from that game where I remember as us starting so well, because where we were sat, it was like all down the other end. We just couldn't score.
Yeah, it was.
Then we got it. And then it felt like, I think Milos Kerkez got sent off in the second half.
Yeah.
And then he thought, how are we hanging on here? Because we were brilliant. And then they put a bit of pressure on us. And I think, was it, they had a goal disallowed, didn't they? Yeah.
They did. It was only millimetres, in it?
Yeah, and we kind of just managed to get away with it in the end. But yeah, it was a big win at the time. Good away win, and a good night there. And we've had, to be fair, we've had some good results at Molineux. I can remember a few. I remember the Championship promotion season was a good one, and we won there under O'Neill, funnily enough, as well, didn't we? Tav 1-0.
Yeah, Tavernier, brilliant days. Well, of course, last season was Gary O'Neill's first at Molineux, and his side finished 14th. With 46 points, whereas his old club, Cherries, finished 12th, 2 points ahead. As we look at the league table now, this season after 12 games, his side are in 17th place with 9 points. Cherries are 13th with 15 points. After a poor start of the season, after 8 games, Wolves had only picked up 1 point, but it's fair to say that they have improved of late, and the form in their last 4 games actually isn't bad. It's going to be a really tasty one, I sense. But look, last Saturday was a tasty one for obvious reasons that you'll have probably seen on socials that I'll touch on at the end of the show. I wasn't at the Brighton game. You were, Tom. I was. I managed to slyly watch a stream.
A little bit, yeah.
And it was a frustrating one. But one thing I don't get right. Did João Pedro really say that a tweet from AFC Bournemouth was what motivated the Seagulls into beating? And it was the most vanilla of tweets that you could ever have seen in your life.
It was just literally commenting on the fact that we both are like seaside towns with beaches. Like, it's our fault that ours is better. But yeah, fair play. And to be fair, just touching on João Pedro, that we did talk about a little bit in the preview, didn't we? It was unplayable. I thought he was brilliant.
Good player.
I thought he was brilliant. One of the best I've seen this season, actually. Really underrated. So, yeah, no, credit to him. And yeah, kind of, unfortunately, it kind of went the way you and I were kind of fearing in the preview, that I just thought we don't appreciate that they've got a lot more quality in, like, because it's Brighton.
Yeah.
People don't see that as much because they've got great players all over the pitch. And as soon as they got the first goal, I thought, they're going to be a tough nut to crack now. And credit to us, we kept fighting. Obviously, the red card helped. But we didn't do enough. I didn't think it was as bad as people are making out.
No, I don't think so.
But equally, I don't think we've done enough in the game. I know you could easily go, we hit the bar in the last kick, but it was just we're just putting pressure on against 10 men. I still felt the way that they managed to control certain aspects of the game with 10 men.
Really good game management,
was really impressive. So yeah, they're in a great place as we know. And yeah, it hasn't worried me that we lost the game and the way we played, because we still create stuff and it's still good fun. But yeah, it was just both goals that we conceded were disappointing. Inches for the second.
Yeah.
But you could maybe look at it, if you're being harsh, and go, both fullbacks for both goals were maybe just on their heels. So obviously Smithy was just playing him on for the second goal, and then the first goal, I don't know what you think, because I remember at the time you actually messaging me, obviously I'm in the stadium, said, should Kepa do better? And obviously I'm right behind the goal, and I went, well, initially everyone around us was like, wow, what a save.
Yeah.
And I'm still looking at it going, if Kirkes is not on his heels, he clears it and everyone talks about a good save.
Yeah, true.
But equally, should Kepa tip around the post? I'm not sure. But
I have to say, when shots are that powerful,
it was,
I mean, I've seen keepers spill Antoine Semenyo shots, and the ferocity of those shots, I mean, yeah, I don't necessarily, I wouldn't put criticism on. I think he's obviously under a bit more pressure based on what happened the previous match, but he's not a keeper that we're looking at game in, game out thinking, oh my God, he's starting. Which is not at all. He's a million miles away.
We just know Travers is catching that. Joking.
Maybe. I tell you what, it was a game that was laced with the good and the bad. Nice to see David Brooks scoring.
Oh, brilliant, mate.
Brilliant. But the bad being Semenyo getting booked and now being out. So, of course, we didn't have our talisman Ryan Christie against the Seagulls. We do have him back, thankfully, but that's annoying.
Very annoying. I think the only positive he goes, we had 3 that are on that tightrope, obviously with Christie already getting it, and Celessi and Clivert didn't. I do think there was a thinking behind that, taking them both off. Clivert normally does, but Celessi doesn't. So I think it was a thinking. We can't lose 2 players in the same game. And really important for Clivert not to get at the same time as Semenyo, because obviously similar positions. We miss Christie a lot. And the Semenyo one's annoying, but they're always going to... I always felt like for any of these 3 to go all the way to the turn of the year without getting a yellow the way we play, I'll be very surprised. So it is what it is, mate. We missed him for this one, but we've at least, now that Semenyo misses a game, Dan goes hopefully a bit closer. And as you say, Christie coming back means that, and with Tyler Adams, it means we can maybe move Clivert to a wide position, etc. So, yeah, and as you say, I just forgot them, but Brooksy can play where Semenyo plays.
True, very true.
And might he chuck him in? I don't know, but I was really pleased for him, because he wasn't unbelievable, but he come on and I thought, he's trying to make something happen, and the finish is very good.
And when he cuts in on his, I mean, he can cross on his right, but when he's in that position, you just know that at some point he can put in a real killer ball with his left foot. And you know what? He looked fairly dangerous. He certainly gave him something to think about. But alas, it's just... I'm glad he scored the goal, but it wasn't to be for us. By the way, mate, I saw a stat earlier that said now that Semenyo's not playing, this will reduce our chances of scoring by 50%. God. What? That's not what we need. And it is concerning. We've sort of developed a situation of late where we keep losing and dropping points against lower order opposition, which isn't particularly great. And look, we had chances. I remember Unal's header. Probably should have done better with that. Bournemouth actually ranked 7th in terms of big chances missed, with 23 this season. And we've struck the woodwork more than any other side in the league, hitting the post or the bar a total of 9 times. And we're playing a Wolves side that recently having a little bit of a renaissance. And I suppose, Tom, we're always wondering how Wolves would fare this season. Now, can you remember? Do you remember pre-season we did a bit of a Premier League predictor show? As we always do, we predicted the table. Can you remember where we put Wolves?
I'm going to go... I can't remember. 15th.
We said 16th.
Yeah. I thought they'd have too much. I thought they'd drop off from last season a little bit.
But that might not be far wrong.
No, I think that's probably not a bad shout now. I wouldn't be surprised if kind of odds and stuff predict that, actually. I always felt that the 3, I know that I definitely would have felt that the 3 that come up would be worse. And then, I mean, my worry is that other team in 17th might have been someone like Forest. That I might have got hideously wrong, because I definitely didn't put them where they are. But yeah, I feel like they were always going to drop off a little bit, and obviously lost some players that I felt were very key to them, and everyone does, but still felt they'd have enough. But I also said that I didn't think Gary O'Neill would make Christmas. And and if we beat them, I might be right in that, I think.
Yeah.
The Fulham win was massive, by the way.
Yeah.
So don't get me wrong, I don't think it's a lose and he's gone. But there's a lot of games between now and Christmas. And if they're really in it, and I always say Christmas because I think you never give someone some funds in January if you don't trust them.
Yeah, true.
So he might be fine. I'm not calling for his head or anything. It's quite nice because it's a team you can finish above. But he's got to be. It depends. I always think it depends who's available as well.
Yeah.
I do think that makes a difference.
Yeah, Foley obviously trusted with O'Neill with his money in January. It'll be interesting to see what they do. But in terms of the summer transfer window, a number of players out the door, and initially. Maybe not the players in that Wolves maybe wanted in terms of the same quality. I mean, Max Kilman went out for
a lot of
hefty
money.
Fee. What was that, like 47.5 million euros?
A lot of money, mate,
netto.
Yeah.
Chelsea. I mean, that was absolutely huge for them. A number of players went out on loan as well. But
lost
who did they replace them with?
Well, they brought in Tommy Doyle, who was in on loan. They signed him permanently. I thought it was a good signing, but he hadn't played as much as I thought. I'm not sure why that is. Wolves fans might be able to let us know. I think they brought Larson in on loan from, I think it was Celta Vigo. He's actually gone under the radar a little bit. I think he looks quite good, him and Cunha up top. Yeah. He's one to watch a little bit. So he's been quite a smart signing. They brought in Gomez. They already have a Gomez. It's really confusing, but I think he's coming through. Brought in Sam Johnson to be the number one. I know he's had illness, I believe, and I don't think he's actually going to be available for this game. But that was a surprising one for me because I thought, well, Jose Sar's quite good. Do you need two top goal guards? Don't know. The big one for me was Andre, who's a Brazilian international. So they're still trying to find a way to kind of get him working in that midfield, but he's in Brazil squads for a reason. So I think that's a really good signing from him, and that's helped, kind of stirred him up there. I think the main one hasn't helped with injuries. I think it was Mosquera got a bad injury, be out for a long time. So they've lost their main man at the back in Kilman, and then their upcoming defender's got a really bad injury. And I think that's affected them a little bit, because we all know, joking aside, O'Neill can make you quite well disciplined defensively. He did for us anyway. And it wasn't like we had the best defenders in the world. We were playing with, most of the time I think we were playing with like Stevens, we had Mepham, like good defenders, but not incredible.
I forget that actually,
And I just feel losing Kilman has really hurt them, and he's struggled to then make them as solid, because he's lost his main man of the three when he does go for that three. But yeah, they've made some good little signings, and like I say, I just, what I don't get with Wolves, that's a lot of money recouped, and it doesn't feel like where's the money going?
Yeah.
Because they signed before O'Neill. Cunha, everyone forgets, was 50 million.
Yeah, a lot of money, yeah.
So why are they like not spending now? I'm not sure. But yeah, as you say, they have improved a bit of late after a horrible start. I didn't think you'd get to Fulham, to be honest.
No, that's right. Interestingly, Wolves have scored in their last 11 league games in a row, and they've netted at least twice in their last 4. But we'll check out their run of results, say, going from October, where they had a bit of a humdinger at the G-Tech Community Stadium, mate.
Yeah, we know it's difficult going there.
Yeah.
Obviously, Brentford have got a good home record. But yeah, I never would have predicted that 5-3.
No.
I would have maybe said, Brentford might nick that 1-0. So yeah, that was a strange game. And then again, like he kind of always does, and it didn't surprise me, they give City a really good game. And they were unlucky. Lost 2-1.
But what quality City was that at the time? Because this is the question that we're now asking ourselves for every single one of their games.
As soon as we beat them, they're crap. I'm going with the narrative that we've hurt them.
We was the one that made it happen, yeah.
They're still, every time they go out to a game, then they have flashbacks of Semenyo, and they don't know how to function. But yeah, that was a good performance, but again, they needed the points. Good point of Brighton. I've just spoke about how impressed I am with Brighton. I thought that's a good point to go there and away from home as well. And then obviously the Palace game, that I felt that they would have been targeting that, obviously desperate for points, at home to Palace to try and win it. So disappointed for them. But then you've got, in my opinion, if they had lost to Southampton, I might be wrong, if they lost that home game to Southampton, I think he's gone.
Yeah, and there
that could have been a sliding doors moment.
Wasn't there controversy in that, in terms of Saints scored, but because where were we? Where we thought that Saints had scored, and then no, it didn't count.
Yeah, no, you're right, but I think
may have been Brentford. I can't remember.
Yeah, but it might be that sliding doors moment, because you might look back in months and months at the end of the season and go, that Southampton game, if we had lost that, he might have been a job. And then he's beaten Fulham after that, as we've just getting to that 4-1, which was obviously impressive. But yeah, the Southampton game was massive. It almost felt like a 6-pointer, which is silly at this stage of the season. But it felt like if they had lost that, it'd have been in real trouble. But again, yes, decisions went for them. But I will say, to any Wolves fans watching, they've had a lot go against them. So they got the rub of the green that day.
Yeah, so Wolves have won the last 2 games in a row, and that's as many wins as they had in their last 22 matches combined.
Tough fixtures there, apparently.
Their Premier League games have seen 48 goals so far this season, more than any other side, by the way. So they're always entertaining. But by the way, in terms of Bournemouth, all 4 of Bournemouth's Premier League wins this season, this is an interesting stat.
Come on, Sam.
They've been against teams that have been either starting the day in the relegation zone or the top 4. Wolves are just outside it. So does that not bode well, mate?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure whether to go with, well, they're kind of a relegation-y type. I don't know yet. I mean, you're just going to chuck them out and I've got to pretend like it matters.
It doesn't matter.
But it's a cool little stat, though. I do like that.
We do just play well on the day. Look, we've played Wolves a fair amount of times. We're looking at the head-to-head. If you listen to the audio pod, unlucky. Just check out the YouTube channel, youtube.com/AFCB podcast, and you can see what we are looking at in our away games against Wolves. Bournemouth have won 4, drawn 0, lost 3. In all competitions, Cherries have won 8, drawn 4, lost 6. The last 4 games, by the way, at Molineux have all been 1-0. So
Hang on. 1-0, last the one we spoke about. 1-0 Tav.
yeah,
What's the one before? Did they beat us?
COVID,
Raul Jimenez, I want to say.
1-0.
One before that.
That
2-0.
was 2-0 in 2018.
Was that Adama Traore killed us on that side? Yeah, I do very good. I actually remember one just before that. The not the promotion season. Was it the promotion season where we had that late. Do you remember? Was it Matt Ritchie?
Yeah, Matt Ritchie. Yeah,
they had 2 send-ins off. I remember Wolves fans, if you can remember it, because you'll be fuming because it was harsh. But Van La Parra, don't know why I remember that. I think he ended up at Huddersfield. Why do I know that? He got sent off for an elbow on Steve Cook.
Yeah.
Not sure it was an elbow. But yeah, and Harry Arthur scored from distance and Ritchie at the end. And I just remember being there, and that was when we were at the side.
Yeah, I think, some teams do have the size.
Southampton had it.
Only teams that take a big following.
Oh, so we'll be behind the goal.
So we'll be behind the goal then. Not good. Look, Bournemouth's away record isn't unbelievable. We've won just 3 of our last 16 on the road. That's bad, isn't it? That's almost half a season.
Who have we beaten on the road this season? Just
Everton.
Is that it?
That's it.
It's because the Villa one feels like a win, because it was a late draw with Villa, who I don't think they've won a game since either.
No.
We're just killing teams, mate. Absolutely. I mean, Arsenal have recovered, but I forget that. It doesn't feel like we've been hideous on the road.
No.
But the Everton limbs just seems like it made up for everything, doesn't it?
I think the fact that we're always in games and we're fairly competitive, it sort of takes the edge off. I mean, obviously the Liverpool game was probably the most emphatic defeat that we've had, but even in that, we registered so many shots.
Leicester were all over them and just got nicked.
Don't even do that to me.
But I didn't realise it was that bad a record. Yeah, I need to sort that out, mate.
As you can tell, we are at the QP, the home of Cherries fans on a match day. Tom, I presume you might have been in here after the game against Brighton, were you drowning your sorrows and just chatting with fellow Cherry fans until probably about 7:30 where you went home at 8?
Let's go with that.
Okay. You didn't go afterwards, did you?
Popped in. It just carried it on a little bit, because I'm thinking I need to get over this defeat. You need to work on, and I got back in time for breakfast.
To GMTV or whatever.
To be fair, it's been nice recently, even when we lost, to be fair, because we've had some. We've beaten Southampton, we've beaten Arsenal, we've beaten City at home. Yeah. So even after the defeat, it was nice in there after the game, mate. It's been really, really good. So it's been quite busy in there after. So definitely come in after games. Definitely.
Did they remember to turn the TVs on this week? Because they always forget to turn them on. Joe, sort it out. But yeah, make sure you come here before every home game. By the way, we do the competition in terms of the prediction.
Oh yeah.
So we asked people to guess the score and then to separate it, a booking. We didn't need to do that this week because there was one person that I can see that went for a 2-1 Brighton win. He's come on fan cams a few times. Reverend Philip Martin. What a guy he is. Roast dinner and drink for 4 is yours, sir.
What a guy is he? He predicted us to lose.
Yeah, but he got it right. You know what?
Cares about a roast more than 3 points. I respect it.
I think he spoke to the man upstairs to get that particular scoreline. But brilliant. We'll be in contact with you very, very soon. Remember, if you want a Sunday roast down here, it's just a tenner. If you're season ticket holder, it is £1 off as well. And we're going to be here for the next home game as well. Check out all the details below, the numbers and the email address in order to get in contact to book your table at the QP. If you're brand new here, you can really help us out, especially if you listen on YouTube, by doing a couple of things.
Yeah, click the big fat like button, as I always tell you, so make sure you do that. And yeah, the bell will tell you when all the videos are out, and click subscribe, that's the most important one. But yeah, you've got to click the bell as well, because there's always so much.
Yeah.
We do obviously you've got the preview now, but after the game, you'll have the instant fan reaction.
Yeah. Hopefully it's going to be a good one.
Hopefully it'll be good. We've had some good ones in Wolves before. And then we'll obviously get the vlog out.
Yep.
Sammy Boy will be on that, and then we'll discuss it in more detail in the second look. And if you're part of the Ko-fi, get the exclusive player ratings from myself.
Yeah, we got. I've got to update the end screen for Ko-fi because we've had a few people joining it, and that's a really good community. They've been a really big help to me over the last few days or so, I've got to say. And yeah, if you want to be part of that, go to afcbpodcast.com/coffee. If you want to see how the money's spent, just go on our website, click afcbpodcast.com/support, and that shows you how we reinvest it into the channel. Every penny gets put back into what we do. Right, in terms of team news, here we go. Right, Wolves team news, we're looking at, they've got 10 players out, either injured or through illness. Gary O'Neill's got a point, mate.
No, some players you barely even know. I mean, who the hell is Enzo Gonzalez Medina? I mean, they don't even know who he is. So he's out, apparently. They don't even know who's kicked the ball from before. That Mosquera I mentioned earlier is a long-term one, Traore as well. I think Bueno potentially back, and I think they've said Sarabia's potentially back. Craig Dawson is also potentially.
Yeah. He had a virus, didn't he?
Yeah, so I think I think about 3 of the main ones are going to be back. Sam Johnson I mentioned earlier, it looks like he's still going to be out. But like I said, they've got 2 good goalkeepers. And then there's someone else who's out called Bastian Mepayui Menager. They've never seen him either.
Massive player.
Let's calm down. I think Traore is a decent player, to be fair, Boubacar. So yeah, they are missing a few, mate. Probably, but I reckon in terms of key players, probably just the same as us.
But they got their main man available, and that's Cunha, isn't it? Strong all-round play, scored 4 goals and has got 3 assists in his last 4 games. What baller he is, mate.
Yeah, I saw, forgive me, I can't remember who put it, but someone with links to like Wolves and stuff and reporting put about kind of people are talking about him potentially getting a move to a bigger club, which I get, he's only mid-20s.
How is there a bigger club than Wolves?
Well played. And I get that, but people forget they also spend 50 million euros on him. So a team's going to have to spend a lot of money, aren't they? Because otherwise Wolves ain't going to, but so many goals. What is it recently? It's a lot of goals. He got 2 against Fulham, didn't he?
Yeah.
Scored against Southampton, just looking at it now. Scored against Brighton.
4 in those last lot.
Scored against Brentford. Scored against... Yeah, he is their main man. He's brilliant every time I watch him. Not just his goals. I think he does... And I think Gary really liked him because we said when we had Gary O'Neill here, he loved what Dom did off the ball.
Yeah.
And that's something I think Cunha brings that as well. It's not just goals. And I also think a player that... Sorry, Wolves, but a lot of clubs are sniffing around our left back, Milos Kerkez, because he's young. And my kind of thing of the only way we can keep him is because there's another young left back that could go, and that's their Aït-Nouri.
Yeah.
I think he's brilliant. And so you've got 2 young left backs playing for Wolves and Bournemouth that the club is sniffing around. So it's who gets kind of chosen and all, but he's brilliant.
He's been involved in more Premier League goals than any other defender so far this season, with 5, 3 goals and 2 assists from him.
Yeah,
so,
I mean,
some really good stats.
Obviously the slight caveat is quite often he can play as a wing back, which means he's a bit further up. But yeah, he's really good. And I think him and Kerkez have a lot of similarities as well. Yeah. So it'd be interesting to see them both on the pitch. But yeah, he's definitely one to look out for as well.
In terms of the Cherries team, we know that Ryan Christie's going to be available again. Antoine Semenyo is not elsewhere. Who have we got out? I think it's about 4, is it?
Yeah, Scotty's out. Alex Scott's out. Sinistera, I think, still out. Araujo's obviously out. Who else we got out at the moment? Is there anyone else?
Yeah, no, that's it.
No, it's because I always go to say another one because I was going to say Tyler Adams. He's absolutely fine.
He's gone. So in terms of the AFC Bournemouth player to watch, I suppose it's going to be Ryan Christie. So, but he's such to other people, of fans of other clubs, he's a player that goes under the radar, very unfashionable sort of player. Yeah. But for us, he means everything, doesn't he?
Oh god, yeah. And you saw that against Brighton, because I don't think I don't think it was that bad. And Tyler Adams, to his credit, individually, I thought played well.
Yeah.
And Lewis Cook was kind of asked to do something a little bit different, and he was good at it.
Yeah. And
Kluivert, we know, can do the 10 role. Even when Tav goes in there, he can do it. And it was none of their like individual fault. I just don't think we function as well.
Yeah.
I really don't. And I was talking, Catherine, our resident Villa fan, but we were talking about, because obviously they've recently played Juventus and played really well.
Yeah.
And they've just got Kamara back. You know, who's that midfield player?
By the way, that was no way. You know, I'm going to say it.
Morgan Rogers finished it off anyway, bless him. But yeah, and we were talking about Kamara because he's come back from, and no one's really spoken about Villa being without Kamara. And they look so much better with him. And it's not necessarily just what he does. I think he makes everyone else better. I just think when Christie's in there, everyone's a bit more like, he'll do that, and we can just do. And I think Adams and Cook both wanted to do the same sort of thing.
Yeah.
So, and weirdly, I said this on the player ratings actually, that it was weirdly a game when they went down to 10 men that we could have done a Scott as well, just to calm it down.
Yeah,
so it was just typical. It was them sort of game. But Christie being an option is good, and also good because Semenyo's out, because it means you can move people around a bit. So, yeah, I think Christie could make us tick again. I'm not being funny. We know how much he runs. He's had a week off, mate.
Yeah.
He's going to be running for days.
Cannot wait. Right, played for both. We always do a little segment where we try to name as many names as we can. How many do you want to go for, Tom?
Hang on.
Like, what about, I don't know, 10? Is that all right? Can you name 10?
I'll try, because I think I've got about 6 or 7 in my head.
Oh, okay. Go on then.
I've got, why is he the first one I thought of? Scott Goldborn.
Wow.
Left
that
back.
is niche for a...
We had him on loan from Reading.
I'll tell you what, that reminds me of, do you watch Sudbury? Yeah. Did you see it last night where Talisa was doing all the challenges, had to name like 12 things on a thing?
Right.
Okay, so it had to name the, 12 star signs, 12 this, 12 that, right? One of them was, can you name 12 Premier League teams, right? First one she started off with was Leicester.
Yeah, why is that in her head? Yeah, it's weird.
And then she was like, Rotherham, nah.
Did she ever name, did we get her?
No, we didn't.
We're never getting mentioned in that, are we?
No.
We're like one of them. We'd be the one that everyone will forget.
But, okay, Scott Goldborn.
Scott Goldborn, and do you remember where he come on loan from Reading? Yeah. Obviously he's played, and he come with James Henry.
Yes, oh my God.
So that's what I'm getting them to. I think we got Jem Caracan as well at the time, but I don't think he played for Wolves.
No.
But I'm just saying, they were at Reading at the time. Who else was I thinking of? I was thinking Darren Anderton.
Yes.
He was the main one. Well, actually, I say the main one. Was he as good as Andrew Sermon? Andrew Sermon.
Yeah.
Nothing ridiculous why I've got this in there.
Go on.
JJ Melligan. Don't know why I remember him.
Yeah.
Sam Vokes.
Yeah. That's 6.
Benicophobe.
Benicophobe.
They're my 7. So there's got to be a goalkeeper. Is there a goalkeeper?
Yeah, there is.
What? How many?
There's 2. No, there's actually 3, actually.
Oh, God.
One of which I don't think played any games for Wolves, but look, he's an Aussie.
Adam Federici.
Yeah.
Oh, was he at Wolves for a bit?
Also, another keeper from the late 90s, VB.
Vince Bartram.
Yeah. Also one on loan that you may not remember from the 90s. I think we got him. He went to Ipswich, and it was Andy Marshall. You may not remember him. He only played about 5 games for us.
I can't remember him. I can't remember for Bournemouth.
There are some other big names.
Give me initials. Quick. If I can't get it quick, then you can just tell me.
There is someone that played for every single football team going, of course.
What, Lee Camp?
No.
Lewis Graben? He played for every team.
Football League show pundit.
Claridge.
Yeah.
Oh,
Steve
he's
Claridge.
a dick. He's just an answer for everything, isn't he?
Yeah.
I hate Claridge.
Also, I'll reel out a few other
go on.
names. Neil Masters, Georgian Dar.
Oh, yeah.
If you remember him. Nathan Byrne.
Nathan Bird, I remember him, the right back.
And you said Benicophobe, right?
Yeah, and Sam
of course
Vokes,
you did.
James Henry.
And of course, we got a couple of managers as well. Bill McGarry from the 50s, I believe, or maybe 60s, and Gary O'Neill, of course. So you know what? Out of that, well done.
Actually, I've done better than I thought. Yeah, that was all right.
Do you want to know who the referee is, Tom?
Nope. I'll tell you what it ain't. Can we just keep doing this? It ain't David King, is it? Who is
I'll
it?
tell you what it is. It's, I'll give you a little quiz. It's the one that TNT Sports always go to when they want to have a chat about refereeing decisions.
I normally switch off at that point.
You know, so Darren Fletcher's like, oh, let's go over to
Who do they go to?
Peter Banks.
Ah, yes, they do. You're right. Yeah, Peter Banks.
He's going to officiate. He took our away game against West Ham earlier in this season.
What, in the cup?
Yeah.
In the cup? We lost 1-0 and it was a goal that shouldn't have counted?
Last season in the league, we had him for our home game against West Ham. 1-1. And the 3-0 away win against Manchester United.
Well, we got a goal disallowed.
Happy days. Here's Matt's stats there, and who takes a look at the last 4 to check out the form of the side we are playing. Of course, their last 4 involved 2 home games against Palace and Saints and 2 away games, Brighton and Fulham.
Good fixtures, by the way.
Pretty tough run. Wolves are unbeaten in those. They gained 8 points, which is a good return, although the XG suggests it's probably an overachievement. They've got a few goal scorers, 7 in their last 4, with only Cunha, with 4 goals, having more than 1. He's also got 3 assists, by the way, as we spoke about earlier, with Mario having 2 and no one else more than 1. Stopping Cunha is going to be important for us. The average positions, I mean, we sort of know what Gary...
As soon as you said about the XG, they overput, did they? Oh, that's a surprise, isn't it?
We'll know.
Don't let them score first, because they'll be back in the stand.
Well, don't let them score first, because they tend to win or lose matches to nil. So whoever scores first is probably going to win the game, right? And he was a cautious manager, as we know. So it's not surprising to see from these graphics on screen, if you watch on YouTube, that the majority of players are in their own half.
Oh, half, yeah.
We've got more goal attempts per game and more big chances, but have scored 4 fewer, which is maybe unusual. Wolves have conceded more chances, but fewer big chances, and have let in fewer goals as well. There does look to be an error in the Wolves team, with 3 errors leading to chances compared to AFC Bournemouth's none.
Yep.
Tell you what, these predictions coming up after the teams are going to be interesting, but let's see if Tom can predict the 22 that are going to be starting. And against Brighton, by the way, what, 21?
Yes.
21 out of 22, was it?
So close, mate. Yeah, I got ours bang on, didn't I?
Yeah.
And the annoying thing is, the one I didn't put in for Brighton was João Pedro's best player on the pitch. I didn't put him in. I can't remember. Adingra. I went for Adingra. So it was very, very close there. I was quite impressed with that one.
But Wolves then...
Wolves are difficult because of a few that are like doubts and illnesses and stuff. But
so they 3 at the back, 4 at the back, 5 at the back, or it's going to change during the game. It always does. Gary Neal's so dynamic.
But I think he'll probably start with a 5 because he loves it. Jose Sarr will be in goal because I just think he's doing all right, and Johnson's had an illness anyway, so not sure he's going to be available. Semedo, who they got from Barcelona, is he's bloody good actually. They get spoken about now, very good right wing back, and then Aït-Nouri, as we spoke about, be on the left. I think Dawson, by the sounds of it, he's going to be back. Yeah. So I think they'll play him, Bueno and Totti as the 3 centre backs. Quite hard in midfield because they've got options available with the other Gomez. I'm going to go for João Gomez playing, and they've got Doyle, but I'm going to go João Gomez, Lamina and Andre as the 3, with Larson and Cunha up top.
Okay, and as for AFC Bournemouth then?
Well, it's tough, and there's obviously going to have to be something changed because of Semenyo. Yeah. Kepa will remain in goal, I'm sure. Smithy now seems like an easier one because of Araujo's injury, and Aaron's doesn't seem that fancied. This one, it's going to be Kirk as a left back. It's going to be Zabani. I'm going to say Celesi, but I'm just going to put a little... It wouldn't shock me if he played Howson. And my thinking, to be honest, is I actually think Celesi's had a few offish games, which is fine, everyone can have them.
And also...
And the yellow card thing, he might be thinking... Well, if Kluivert do you know what I mean? I've already lost Semenyo, and maybe give Howson a run the team for when he's needed. I don't know, but I'm going to stay for that.
Is it the end of the year or halfway through the season?
Yeah, okay. So Celesi and Kluivert have got to get through without a yellow until the turn of the year. It's not going to happen. So what you try and do...
So get him some minutes.
Yeah, and what you also try and do is make sure that they both don't get a yellow at the same time, in the same game. And I just think that Celesi has been a little bit off it lately. And, Howson is a good player. But I'm going to just stick with Celesi. Going to be a bit safe there. I'm actually going to go with Cook and Adams to stay as the midfield pairing, because I'm going to put Christie in the 10.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because Dango's only just come
back. Sort of like
at
Brentford.
Yeah.
And we played well against them.
I did think we started all right against them. And just because Dango's only just come back, I'm not going to start him. So I'm going to go Tav off one side. I'm going to move Kluivert wide. Right. Hence Christie going in the 10, and then Evan Olsen leading the line. But it wouldn't shock me again here if, say, he didn't play Adams, put Christie in the normal role, Kluivert back in, and play Brooks. He could, but that's what I'm going to go with, mate. But I think there's a few little options in there.
Okay, so there you go. It's going to be interesting. You know what, that team, I think you could be right with that. What are your predictions? Let us know in the comments. We'd love to know what you're going for. Use your head rather than your heart. Chris Hubble, I know that you're going to say that Bournemouth are going to win, 3-0, but Tom, what are you going for this? Because this is a really tough one. They've picked up a bit of form, and we... well, arguably, are not in an amazing shape.
No, if someone wants to, if some greater good wants to make me look like an absolute idiot, then it will make Wolves beat us like 3-4-0, because I keep going, they'll be all part of the bus, and they'll smash us. And to be fair to them, they won 4-1 at Fulham, so obviously it is just taken with a bit of zest. What is it? Take it with, is it jest? Yeah, you like sprinkle zest.
Yeah, that's what you get on a lemon.
No, cheers. So I think it's going to be tough. I think we're going to nick it. And you said the thing about, please, I think we're going to win 1-0. 1-0, and I'm going to go 1-0 Ryan Christie. Why? I don't know.
I'm going to go for 0-0. I think it's going to be our first 0-0. It's going to be cold. It's going to be cold. It's going to be horrible. I don't know what the weather's going to be like, but it's probably going to be rain. I think it's going to be, I've got a weird feeling it's going to be 0-0.
Would you take it?
Do we ever have 0-0s? I mean, they're rare for Bournemouth under Iraola.
Yeah, the first thing that comes to my head under Iraola was 0-0 against Chelsea last season.
Rare,
yes,
that's what I'm
very rare. But I wouldn't take it, actually. I think we're good enough to win this, and we need to sort that away form out.
Yeah.
So
Come on!
I'm not taking a draw. We're going to beat these lot.
Let's make sure
Come
we
on.
do that. Look, just to finish, obviously you've probably seen from socials what's happened with the passing of my dad. I just wanted to say thank you so much for all the support I've got. I'm not going to sort of go on too much about it here, but check my socials because I wrote a little tribute, and hopefully that is apt. This one is for you, Ian, up the Cherries. And we look forward to seeing you. Oh, yeah, supposed to do that, aren't you?
Well,
Sorry, Dad. And we're looking forward to seeing you up there at Molineux.
Come on.
Hopefully 3 points, but maybe a golden straw. Who knows? Up the Cherries. Come on.
Why have you never said that before? You're normally the other way, like 3-2.
Yeah. All right then, 2-0.
Yeah, I went that. Evan Elton brace.